if a terrorist attack like in Paris happened closer to home? What would you do? These questions may have run through your mind over the last several days. News 5's Emily DeVoe is in our studio with a few answers that might help for tonight's Don't Be a Victim. Emily?
Well, Devin, we're stepping it up a notch today. Last week during our series, we focused more on getting you safely from the store to the car, or beefing up your security at home. What about surviving a terrorist attack? It could happen. Heck, it could happen anywhere. I'm not telling you that to scare you, just to motivate you to take action. Chaos Sunday night as these mourners run as fast as they can to get away from a memorial after firecrackers were mistaken for gunfire.
And you know, it's police Paris. It's for everything. If you make, it will make some drama.
Sure, they're on high alert now, but in the coming weeks that will eventually fade and most of us will go back to being oblivious to the possibility of terrorism. That is, unless you change your habits now.
During the course of our series, Don't Be a Victim, we talked about two really important things: mindset and situational awareness. You need both.
Situational awareness can really get you out of a lot of trouble.
During an attack, if you're not in the first wave of victims, you at least have a chance of survival.
But you have to pay attention. Here's a game you might have played when you were little. The object is to guess as many of the items in the box as you can before I cover it up with a towel 10 seconds later.
Sure, you think it's fun.
I forgot already.
But the same concept goes when you walk into a building.
Paperclip.
Quick, where are your exits?
Did I say batteries?
Did that man in the corner seem a little off to you?
A ruler?
Testing your memory here helps you be aware somewhere else.
There are way more peppermints than I thought.
And that goes hand in hand with mindset.
Never, ever give up.
Your goal is survival. During the Paris attacks, the terrorists reloaded their guns multiple times and people stood there too scared to move. If you can't run, you need cover, which is different than concealment. Just ask defensive expert John Graham.
Concealment simply hides you. In other words, it'd be like if you hear gunfire and you would pull your covers over your head. Well, you're certainly not being seen, but you're not stopping the bullet in whatsoever.
Above all, you need a contingency plan now. Otherwise, you won't be ready. No one is. The biggest step is just to accept the fact that something bad can happen to you. Once you realize that, you can start figuring out what you'd do if it did. Here's an exercise. When you go somewhere to eat or shop, just look around at your exits or where you could find cover. Getting the habit of that could pay off later on. In the studio, Emily DeVoe, News 5. We'll be back after the break.